Hi.
Hi Beth, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Is anyone else here?
Nope, just us right now.
All right. I'm going to take notes and officially give you some minutes. So
Wonderful.
we got to figure out how we're going to catch up with all the other ones.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, and you guys can decide. I don't know if it's easier to just assign people to certain months. That way, people aren't duplicating them or however you
Yeah,
guys want.
we probably have to divide them up somehow and figure out. So you said we could, there's a way for us to go back and look at recordings and kind of take notes.
Yes, yeah, all of the recordings are online. So you could just take the minutes from there. You could even, YouTube has the option that you could speed it up at 1.5 speed if you wanted to do it. So it's not like you're in the meeting again.
Just to get the highlights, and there's usually a lot of gabbing and dead time. So yeah, I guess I'll talk to Paul about that then, how we can do that. And how do we access them? Like through the town website?
Yeah, I could send you a link as well if that's easier, but the link to the town's YouTube page is right on the homepage of the town's website.
Okay. All right. All right. We'll figure that out. Yeah, we got into a bad habit of who's going to do them, and then you have to just write them up and get them in before the next meeting,
Yeah, I think once it gets backlogged, it gets a little intimidating. But if we can get in a good habit of just making sure that they get done before the next month.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, Jen.
I didn't see anyone say they weren't coming, did you? Did Susan say she was here?
Susan,
I
I
can't
can't
remember if that
remember.
was last month.
Yeah, I know that Susan was going to be traveling at some point, but I don't remember if it was for this meeting or the last meeting.
I think it was the last one. Hi, Mary.
How did the town meeting go?
It was really good.
Oh, good.
People.
I mean, with Tamar.
Oh, it was good. Yeah, everyone was very positive. Came by the table and stopped and said, "Oh, what are you up to?" And everyone's like, "Oh." Some people had already had experiences with Habitat, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll definitely help." Or,
Oh, good.
yeah. So it was really very positive. Yeah.
Excellent.
And they said at that point, they had a pretty good amount of tickets sold for the gala. I think there
Yeah.
were, I'm not sure what's left now, but they thought it was pretty good response. So.
Oh, wonderful. Good.
Yeah. What time does that start again? I got to go back and find my tickets.
Oh,
6:30.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to go look it up.
I have to look it up. Yeah. I don't know if Tamar's coming on today or not, but with this, but.
And the other woman, Beth, was there too.
Oh, yeah.
She's kind of, what did they say? She's more the nuts and bolts person, I think, and she was interested. So
I always forget if Beth is the head and somebody else is the volunteer chair, or
yeah, I think
vice versa.
Beth is like the head one.
Okay.
The other one, she wasn't the volunteer one.
Okay, so did she come to the town meeting thing?
Yeah, she was there.
Oh, my goodness.
For a while. Yeah, it was good.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good afternoon. How are you?
Good. I'll take
Hi,
minutes.
Paul.
I'll
Oh,
take
you will? Okay.
I'll do the notes, so let me make sure I have everybody.
Beth, Jen, Paul. Mary, you're on camera.
I am. I'm on my phone. I'm trying it. We'll see. I
Wow.
still can't get on my computer, so. But if I run into any snags, I'll have to say sayonara. Come on. Oh. I used to have my mouse not-
Cassandra, hello.
Hello,
How's everything there?
everything is good.
Yeah, it was, were you busy after town meeting, the next day or two, or?
I'm just busy in general, not necessarily because of town meeting, but just busy time of the year, construction season and grant season and a lot going on, all good things.
Yeah, I know they, one of the final amendments of the night, which everything was starting to pass with flying colors, and all of a sudden people, there were like 3 left to go. And it was already 10 o'clock at night. And Wayne got hung up on the Christmas lights, and and it added another 25 minutes to the town meeting.
I know, I was like, really?
I
And
know.
then they're trying to amend the amendment, and it's like,
I
they
know.
couldn't even follow what they were doing. Then somebody finally, I think, said either table it. I was gonna say, just put this one to one side or something and rewrite it, you know?
Yeah, I saw Lauren up there in the visitor section, so,
Oh, cool.
well, that's good. So, so we have a quorum.
Okay, is Susan, did you hear from her? I didn't recall if she said she was coming or not coming.
I believe she said she wasn't going to be here.
Okay, so she was probably traveling.
Yeah.
All right,
So, there was like 2 meetings she said she couldn't make.
okay,
So, but anyway, so we had our town meeting, and I stayed for all of the whole thing. I wanted to see if there was any effects on any of the bylaws from zoning, which I don't believe there was. I know she did express some concern, Susan, about the height requirement, but when they explained it, it made sense.
Okay.
I know Clark was opposed to it because, you know, it affects a lot of other ways you develop your home. He was claiming that there'd be a lot of flat roof garages or something. I don't know, but
Oh,
they went back and forth on that. Yeah, so I guess they go by 35 feet or 36 feet, but not to the peak anymore. They bring it down 5 or something. I forget how it went.
oh, wow.
Yeah, so
so that's how they measure it, is not to the peak?
yeah, I can't. That's what he
I was
explained.
confused about how they were measuring it.
Yeah, so that was the bylaw, that was to change how they measure it, so it's the same all the time.
Okay,
So I think it starts from elevation, not where the lowest elevation in the whole property is or something, I don't know.
okay,
Oh, okay.
I don't know, it was confused, that was confusing to me.
I know, I said, well, these guys are smarter than I am, they know what they're doing, you know, so. All they cared about was the affordable housing stuff, so.
Yeah.
That went well, we had a table out front and a lot of people came by, which was nice. And so we had some good visibility.
Great.
Um,
Thank you guys for doing it.
Yeah, Cassandra sent out the email about the gala, so everyone had it on both committees. So so that's out there. And so I'm not sure, you know, what's gonna happen after that. I suspect we'll be getting together with Tamar to see what's next. Because I know we talked about you know, maybe doing a farmer's market or something like that at
Yeah.
some point. So we'll start to get that progress going. So the table was fine. People stopped by, you know, we had the group across from us was the library wanted to put an outdoor pavilion in, you know, so they're raising money for that. And then
Mm.
next to us was the artist renditions of the new town hall. So that went down. That barely went down in defeat. It was a 20-person difference.
Oh, wow.
It's like 157 to 177 or something.
Yeah, I think it was 179 to 156, but they would have needed 2/3 to get it over the hump.
Right.
So,
But I was surprised it was that close, you know, with like 50-50 basically. know.
Well, you could tell by the way the comments were going back and forth, like it
Yeah.
seemed fairly even.
They loaded, well, I don't know how well organized. I don't know if the school committee got out people, but the entire right section was school people.
Well, you
Hmm.
know what I think it was? A lot of the young ones came because it was the vote for full day kindergarten, funding full day
Yeah.
kindergarten. That's what
Oh,
I know. And some of them didn't even know about the town hall. They came for the kindergarten.
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
'cause as soon as they voted down the town hall, I don't know, 500 people left.
Yeah, a lot,
You
a
know
lot
what I
left.
mean?
Yeah.
And I was sitting with Glenn because, I did vote against the town hall. And I was laughing. I said, because now these people think I'm on their side, but I'm like, I'm gonna vote against the school too, because I don't want my taxes to go up,
Yeah.
But they want this $250 million new school. And the plan is to leave the existing school where it is, build a brand new one behind it, and then tear down the front one.
Oh, wow.
So,
Crazy.
yeah. But I don't know. It's funny how we're talking about the town hall, which is, 100 and some odd years old, right? 200 years old.
Yep.
It needs a new heating system and, new windows. But our school, which is only about 40 or 50 years old, has to be torn down. And that's,
Yeah.
and that's, cement, cinder block, brick.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, if you need a new roof, put a new roof on. If you need
Yep.
new windows, get new windows, so I don't
Yeah.
know. But anyway, that was a battle there. So, but other than that, the night was pretty quiet. All the planning stuff went pretty smooth. So I know there's another round coming in the fall and another round, they said, coming in the spring of next year. So
Hmm.
we'll have to keep our eyes and ears open for the next round of what that means.
Cool. Wow.
Now, as far as housing, on our agenda here, some general updates though on the housing site. So we know CJC is basically done. I don't know if you noticed they're doing the final repaving of 3A,
Yeah.
and I believe, and we'll have to check with Cassandra, but because I know that prior to all of that, sewer was in process. He filed all the paperwork for the property to be deeded already. So I believe it's all been deeded. I think we probably just need to double check to make sure it's all set and counted as affordable housing for us. And he's getting ready to, the contract he had with the sewer commission was, once everything was done and then they decommissioned the septic systems, then everything gets conveyed to the town. And then it's the town owns the system,
Oh, okay.
kind of thing. So they're just waiting on that last piece. But I did talk to him a couple weeks ago. He said half the place was rented, so
Okay.
100% of the affordable was rented. So that was good. The
Was that a lottery or how, do you know how they did that?
I don't know. Well, they would have had to have done a lottery on the
Okay, I just didn't see anything about it, so I'm just curious.
There may have
Okay.
been there. So even with the lottery, you still have veterans preference and local preference.
Okay,
And I don't know if there was one more preference, probably disabilities or some
Okay.
preference. There's a couple of preferences that come before general
Yep.
population. So
okay,
yeah, he went through that. And then I will be sending an email out to the building inspector just to double check on a couple things. So the property at 55 South Main,
Mhm.
gas station. So I understand that was approved
okay,
with the condition that they, within, I believe, 12 months, have to find 3 alternative affordable housing offsite, and if they can't, then it has to be on site.
oh, wow, good.
Cassandra, can you confirm that? I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Yes, so the project was approved, as you were saying that. I was just pulling up the decision. No final certificate of occupancy shall be issued until inclusionary zoning requirements as set forth below have been fulfilled. If the offsite option is selected, the applicant shall notify the board with a detailed description. Applicant shall update the board every 120 days after issuance of building permit. If offsite option is deemed infeasible, applicant will be required to provide the 2 affordable units on site.
So at 2 units,
2 units.
so 2 units, and if they do them on site, we get to count all 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
And those are apartments, right?
yes,
The property is a okay, good.
so that was approved, so I suspect that'll take some time before they start digging a hole.
So that the condition was that they couldn't get occupancy until they had the affordable units in place, either offsite or onsite? Was that what that said?
Until they've fulfilled the inclusionary zoning requirements.
So, yeah, so they need to get on it, huh? They could start building, but they wouldn't be able to do anything with it until they figured out how they're doing the affordable. Essentially, right?
They wouldn't be able to get the occupancy permit
Okay.
until they had figured that out.
Okay.
Would they all be counted if it was on site? I thought that it was a 25%. For some reason, I thought it had to be 25% affordable on site for the whole thing to be counted, or am I misremembering that?
So, yeah, it was definitely 2 units on 12. And I thought our bylaws had a 15, a 20, and a 25. I don't remember. We went through that before. And do you remember, Cassandra?
I think 25 sounds right to me, but I'd have to just double check that.
Okay,
I will look it up right now, but it might take me. a minute
okay,
just to get to
no
that
problem.
page.
Yeah. Because I thought they were gonna have to give us 3 units,
Right, exactly.
but I believe they're claiming it's 2, so whatever that is in the planning bylaws. So the next step would be, I don't have the address, I don't remember the address, down South Main Street by St. Anthony's Church. They're putting 3 apartments.
I thought it was like 140 something, but I'm not positive.
Do you have the address, Cassandra? Do you know?
Yes, it is 147 South Main.
127?
147. 147.
Okay. So 147 South Main. So that he looks like he's almost done. I did get a phone call from him a couple of weeks ago. He was having some issues with abutters and asked if there was any way that we could help. And I went to the town hall to see what they can do, and they said they were working out whatever issues there were with the abutters and the property owner.
Okay.
So I kind of left it at that. They said they were taking care of it.
Hmm.
I also mentioned, I think he had gone to the trust. The trust had committed to paying for a consultant to help him get set up for the affordable housing selection. So I did meet with the Affordable Housing Trust a few weeks ago to give them our update and mention to them that the gentleman of this property will be probably coming to them to take them up on that offer of getting a consultant to help them get set up to choose tenants for the property.
Okay.
So that'll be one affordable, and we have to see if it's deeded. I don't know. Cassandra, how that works on your end, how we know it's deeded, so we get it counted.
Sorry, I was reading when you said that one.
Oh, no problem at all. It's just, next time around. Just, we want to see how its property's deeded so we get credit for the apartment.
Sure.
Because he volunteered to make it affordable. I don't know if he volunteered to deed his property that way, so. We just have to see what that is.
Okay.
So we had 55 South Main and then 147 South Main. And I have not heard from, 1 Pleasant Street yet. So they've been building away over there, so I'm not sure how far along they are. And, be reaching out to the building inspector to see, where they are in their permitting process, because that's supposed to be 14 apartments. And we're gonna get credit for all 14. I know they were. Still didn't make a decision on the restaurant space down below, how many seats that was gonna be. That was one of the delays they had.
And how many would be affordable at 55 Pleasant?
Uh,
Two
let's
or
see.
one? Two?
Yeah, it should be 2 at least. Out of the 14, if not 3. I mean, it should be 3, but we have to find out. And we just have to make sure there's the deed restriction pieces in there. So who confirms that type of stuff, Cassandra? Is it your department, or is it planning or zoning, or?
Yes, so to get the units on the SHI and to get them counted, that would be me.
Okay. All right, so we can just follow up on these 3 properties just to make sure we get credit for them.
Yes, yeah. So usually as soon as the occupancy permits are issued and things are moving along, John should notify me that they've been issued, because that would be the last step in getting them towards the SHI. And to answer your question, Jen, I just looked it up in the bylaws. It's 10%.
10% requirement upfront, but is it 10% for them all to be counted as well?
Let's see.
So I thought it was a 10% requirement of affordable, but I thought that for the entire, and I may be remembering this incorrectly, but I thought it was a 10% requirement for units, but that they would need to have 25% in order for the entire 12 to be counted.
That
Sorry,
might not
complicate things.
That's okay. That might not be in part of the bylaws. That might be
A
a
state.
state.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my recollection as well. Okay, well, we can pick up here. Sounds like it doesn't matter because we're getting to.
Yeah, so in order for it to count, I thought it had to be 20%.
Hmm.
Have to be affordable if there's, I thought it was 4 or more contiguous units.
Right.
So I don't know what our bylaws say. I think that the state bylaw would trump that. I don't know.
It might be helpful. I don't know if this is like too much work, but it might be helpful to have this written down in some sort of short form that we can refer back to more easily, just as these projects come up. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'll work on that this week.
Okay, yeah, some crib notes, we could use those. Been a while since I've had them.
That's a good plan.
So I don't know that we have any other properties that I'm aware of other than those 3 projects. Unless you guys can remember anything, then we go on to Habitat after that.
Um,
Well, I guess the only other one was the harbor development, which I think we keep hearing is not ready for, or that those ones are secured, but they're not going to be delivered, right, until they get.
So the Harper project, they already gave us 4 units. So
And
those,
those have already been deeded.
right, so those are on
Oh,
Cushing,
okay.
that's on
sorry.
Cushing, yeah, that's on Cushing Street. It's one building
Yep.
with 4 apartments in it.
Okay.
So that whole process has been through, and I believe those are already credited to us.
Oh, okay, great. Sorry, I'm a little behind.
Yeah, but we can kind of do an annual review, I guess, of credited properties just to make sure they are. Because I want to make sure that CJCs went through it well, because we were in a hurry to get something filed with housing before it was a deadline in October about a year or so ago. Because I remember him filing with the state, but we can confirm all that. So with that, I don't know that there's any other big projects in town that we would want to keep an eye on. That I can think of. Anyone else? I know the one at the end of North Main Street is he kind of abandoned his approach to the town, so I think there's actually somebody living in the house at this point.
Ah.
So I don't think we're gonna hear back from him for quite some time.
Any progress or thoughts about what's happening with the town-owned properties? That the lot on the lot off of Forest Ave and the one on Mill Lane?
Yeah, so that's with the trust.
Okay.
Those two properties were transferred to the trust, and I don't know if maybe they have completed both transactions by now.
But do
and-
they need an RFP or something like that, or do we know?
No, they weren't going out for bid to see if they can do anything with the property that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah, when I talked to Steve Gomer and the committee, I think they were just kind of sitting on it for the moment. I don't know if they
One
looked
of
at.
the Heather Drive property, I think, went on the market and then had a significant price adjustment, but if it looks like the property, it's an undeveloped lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Cassandra, you don't know what they're doing with both those. That was Mill Lane and it was Linden, I thought, right?
No, it's Heather, or not Heather,
Heather Drive.
Heather
yeah.
Drive, yeah.
I'm not sure what the plan is for the Mill Lane property. They haven't talked about that recently. There has been discussions around the Heather Drive property, but they're continuing those discussions in executive session.
Okay,
And is that the planning board?
No, that's the Affordable Housing Trust.
The trust, okay, sorry.
yeah, I know that the abutter on Heather was very engaged with them right after the town meeting vote.
Okay.
So,
I guess, Cassandra, for purposes of affordable housing, is the idea that if it were to be sold, then those funds would go into the trust and then they'd be available for some kind of affordable housing project. Is that how that would work?
That's the idea.
so next up on the agenda, subcommittee updates. So that would be Mary.
Well, I was away for a bit and had some other stuff I was tied up with. I wasn't there, but I hear we had a successful table at town meeting. I'm gonna work with Tamar on the farmer's market. We're gonna go every other week. Anybody who wants to volunteer to help, I know, I think tomorrow's okay for every other week. And I am, but happy to have some help if anybody's interested. Other than that, I haven't, as I said, I was really tied up for really the last 3 weeks and but I'm hoping after, and I didn't want to bother Tamar before the gala because I know she's involved with that. But I think starting next week, I'll get back with her to see what our next steps are. If we need a different, some more outreach. I have not heard back from the Rotary as to what dates he might have available, but again, I will get on that. I think it's going to be the next 2 months are going to be kind of busy. So, just be ready to see if there's anything that you want to step in and help with. I think I know they talked about a groundbreaking sometime in June, maybe. I haven't heard any updates of that, but obviously we want to have some kind of a little event for that. And, I'm willing to try to take that on if that's if that's what they do. I don't know what Habitat probably has its own structure as to how they do those things. So, I'm happy to participate on our side, but that's about it for now. But
Okay, yeah, I grabbed Phil Mahoney when we were at the table to tell him we were gonna need help. So he committed to getting, the football team or whoever else over there to help out when they need it. So
Great.
So he's on the list for that. And I was mentioning to Father Scott at St. Anthony's last night that we were doing this habitat, and the gala was Thursday, and
Yep.
he had mentioned that he participated in a habitat at his last assignment, which was up in Amesbury, Salisbury.
Oh, okay.
They had a like a clergy day or something at the facility
Ah.
that, you know, so some of the religious groups would all go to the Habitat House and help out in some form.
Okay.
So he was aware of the, you know, housewarming gifts and things like that. So,
Oh, cool.
so we
That's
can, if we want to, we can kind of tap into the local spiritual community to see if
Yeah.
they participate. And
Yeah, good.
might be a good, you know, the only time they all get together is the Christmas stroll, you know, where they
Yeah.
sell their goods. And but certainly it might be worth doing. We can check with Tamara to see if that
Okay.
she wants to do or not.
I can try to get a list from her of the normal outreach they do to, you know, I'm sure they have generic, you know, religious sports teams, you know, those kinds of places. And again, I'm hoping that we can get a date with Rotary because those folks will be representative of other groups and organizations and stuff. But, you know, and if we don't get a lot of interest at the farmer's market, I think we'll know pretty early about that. So, you know, we may have to change some strategy, but I have a feeling we might get some, you know, some real good interest with that. But the problem with that is that's around when school gets out. So we're, you know, I don't know how we'll be able to tap into the youth stuff unless we do it in the next couple of weeks. So I'll try to work with Tamara on that.
Okay. Sounds good. So sticking with the habitat theme, Thursday is the gala.
Yep.
So I did buy tickets for my wife and myself.
I bought one for me. Rich can't go.
I have, my husband's coming too. There's two of us.
Good.
Awesome.
Thursday is also the 5th grade school play, so unfortunately I cannot be there because I will be watching my daughter play Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, nice. That's way more
awesome.
important.
Yeah. Good for her.
They have galas every year. But
Yeah.
they don't have 5th grade every year. So yeah,
Oh,
obviously.
that's neat.
That's cool. So I was spoken to very sternly several times about what to wear at a gala because it's a gala. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
I asked Beth, we had to have this conversation, like, what are we supposed to wear? She said business casual.
okay,
Okay.
She said it's probably a misnomer to call it a gala, because I said, do I need like a gown and sequins?
yes, well, that's
Which
what you're doing. She
which
went-
I do not have, or I might have
Right.
had it one time, but I can't fit into it anymore or whatever. So she put my mind at rest because I said, you know, I was struggling with that. And she goes, just do, you know, like business casual or like something. So I just have like a basic dress. that I'm gonna
Yeah,
wear.
that's what she's doing. Yeah. So we just had I don't know, a graduation, or it was a graduation. Yeah. I can't remember now. So she's getting whatever the dress was, she's getting the dress. So,
So mine's not fancy, mine's very basic.
yeah.
And I'm just, that's that.
That'll be me too.
Yeah.
So I don't know who else will be there, but I know that Steve Ballmer said he was going.
Okay.
I'm assuming Ted Carr and his wife will be going. Only because A, it's across the street, and B, his vacation home on Lake Winnipesaukee is one of the items in the silent auction.
Oh, nice.
It sleeps 20 people. So
Oh my
Jeez.
God.
yes, we bid on that a number of years ago at the St. Anthony Golf Tournament. And so it's a big place up there. So
Wow.
you
Awesome.
double stack the people to get the 20 in there, but so
Did you win it?
Well, you say win, you pay for it. And they-
All right, did your bid get accepted?
Yes, yes, it did.
So
Oh,
was
good.
it nice? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was a good time because we all go on vacation as a family with all of our families, so every year we were renting, we rent every year up on Long Lake in Maine.
Mm.
And if we can't, we'll go to one of the other lakes up there. And we go there because you don't need a boating license to rent a boat.
Ah,
New Hampshire,
Okay.
New Hampshire, you have to have a boating license.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay.
so you are able to, so we've been over on Lake Ossipee, which is on the Maine, it's on the line of New Hampshire and Maine. And I got a guy who drives the boat over from Maine for me. So,
terrific.
On Tuesdays, the warden comes out, so you don't go boating on Tuesdays, but
Okay.
Funny.
yeah, but yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm optimistic that this will be some more Cohasset turnout. I'm really hoping.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah,
You know,
Tamara and Beth said they thought the tickets were selling pretty well, and a few people, I have to tell you, everyone that came by the table kind of stopped and went, a lot of people were like, oh, my daughter did a Habitat for Humanity, people are very familiar with it and were very positive, and
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a hard sell at all. I think the hardest thing is giving people, they're all like, oh, we'll come help.
Yeah.
It's figuring out the timeline and then saying to people, okay, this is when we're going to start needing you,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, I think the farmers market's a good idea because
Yeah.
based on, but we need to have a pretty good idea of sort of a timeline to tell people, and then try to maybe get names that say, okay, we'll contact you and give you an update, something like that, like have the ability people to sign and give us their emails. or
oh,
something.
okay. Tamar had that at the rec fair and I thought she might have it when you were there, but it sounds like she,
I think
Yeah.
mostly we didn't really sign anyone up. We
Okay.
just kind of said this is what's happening, and
okay.
everyone was more focused too on the town meeting in a way.
Yeah.
They were kind of breezing by to go in and.
Well, that's what I tried to warn her that, you're not gonna get a lot of, you're
But
gonna
it
have
was
to,
more
you're
just,
gonna have to do catch and release, so,
yeah, and it was more just people were like, oh, that's really good. Okay. So
great.
Yeah.
Okay, get a
Yeah.
better timeline.
Yeah, so we'll find out. I think they're
Yeah,
Great.
I'll try to get together with Tamar next week and kind of go to the next steps on that plan that we were trying to put together and see, now that we've got things a little bit, some of the preliminary stuff done, now that we can get into the, meat and bones of all this, so.
okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right, so we're kind of looking forward to this week, Gala, just to hear what other people are saying and doing, and see what the locals are up to.
But Beth, was there any idea from the table ladies at about how fundraising's going in general, or was it not brought up?
they didn't really talk about it. They didn't seem concerned either,
Yeah.
They
Okay.
didn't-
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm still in the dark on the whole fundraising thing because they said they're moving right along, and I'm like, well, we haven't asked anyone for money yet, so.
Right.
Well, and that's what,
But-
like, the first meetings we had with them, I was like, holy moly, we're gonna have to be like hitting people up for money, but that doesn't seem to be the case so far. And then, she was talking more like in Hingham, she was telling me about in Hingham, they had a last minute problem with, because it's on Route 53, which is a state road.
State highway.
They couldn't open it up to get the water hooked up.
Ah,
So this just kind of came out like they were trucking along and thought they were coming down the home stretch, and
wow.
and it's like we have top men working on it at the state, no one's responding. And she was just like, this is a new one on us, and
Yeah,
we're trying to figure out how to you know, get the state to respond and open up the street bars so we can get the water hooked up. And they can't do the landscaping till they have water,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I know with that property there, that end of town is Hingham Water now. I still call it Mass American Water, but
Okay.
Ware River.
wherever, yeah. So they're that because when they came to present to us at the senior center, I was sitting with Lee Jenkins and I asked her, I said, oh, are they gonna come in front of you for a waiver, a nonprofit waiver on water? She said, I'd love to give it to them, but it's Hingham. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so, and that end is sewer. So I would suspect they would come up before sewer. But yeah, I'm not sure what else they're working on, but I when we discussed early on some of the potential donors, some of the ones we mentioned, she said they were already involved in Habitat
Mhm.
on a regular scale, I guess, of what they do. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering if some of those folks will be there on Thursday night.
I'm sure. I know there was, I was looking up something and it looked like they already had sponsors for the event, that are all signed up already. So,
Oh, that's good. Yeah, when I bought tickets a couple weeks ago, it said there were like 60 left or something like that.
Yeah, we must have bought it this same day because that's what it said when I did it too. That was about a week ago.
Yeah, so, all right, well, I think that pretty much covers the two big items on the agenda. So I don't know what else is left, member comments. Any updates to any minute approvals that we have done yet?
Oh, so, yeah, so I'll do these minutes, but I was just talking to Cassandra when we signed on, and I guess we can access, she said, through the town website, all the old meetings, so I guess we
Yep.
need to figure out which ones we need, and then maybe we take a few meetings.
Yeah.
to listen to
Okay,
it,
yeah, I don't mind, yeah.
make a
'Cause
summary report,
Yeah,
minutes, so, I guess, Cassandra, can you give us the dates again, like the window that we need to? I know it's a lot.
Yes.
no, she already said,
Uh,
you did send it out before.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Okay,
she
I'll have to look
sent out
back.
yeah, there was an email with the links to them and what the dates were, so,
Okay, so that was like since our last meeting?
I
yeah.
think I sent it the afternoon of your last meeting. which
Okay,
was
so I'll go back and
the
look for you.
11th.
then. Okay,
excuse me.
Yeah, I've got some notes here from the last, I think since January
you wanna,
this year, so I can go through those.
okay.
Well,
Um,
Yeah, I can, I think I think it's fair for us to split them up and, I know. So Paul, do you think you have notes from all the meetings or?
I do, yeah, so what I do is I take the agenda and I just write on it.
Yeah, well, mine's, I did mine, I reformatted mine, so they're the bigger lines,
Okay,
so I can
yeah.
write right on it. So,
Okay, all right,
so you're gonna do like from January this year? You'll catch up with January, February,
I
March?
can,
I'll
I
do
can, I can split it with you, Paul, give me a
Okay.
couple of months. Give me a couple of months and a couple of sets of notes and
Okay.
I'll see what I just don't, I don't keep very good care of my, I do take notes, but then I, put them in various places. I'm not that organized, so. I used to be better when I had an office. When I was a working lady, but anyway, so Paul, if you want to give me every other month or 4 or 5
Okay.
months at a time, that's fine.
okay.
Well, I'll look at the email and see what's the window, and then we can figure it out. But, all right, so we'll take care of this year so far, and I'll go back and see what else.
We did see Rob Jeffers and invited him back.
Yeah, he,
We should have asked him, if he had meeting minutes.
I know,
Yeah.
he used to scribble them, and for a while he'd sporadically file them, but.
I
all
did
right.
just forward the prior email just so it's fresh in your inbox again.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, I think if we have something, some kind of a little event for the groundbreaking, it would be nice to have him involved.
That would be nice, yeah. Especially with the Habitat House, you know, think
Yeah.
there's. They must have one standard gold shovel that makes its way around it.
We hope.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. So our next meeting we have is June 13th. So everyone's good with that. We could do that, and then we can talk about adjourning for the summer at that point if you want, and pick it back up in September. It's up to you guys. I don't know, unless it, you know, Habitat says, hey, July's our busiest month, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna be busy, but we can all come up to your lake house, Paul.
Oh, if I, win-
If he
if I
bids
win-
on it.
if I win the bid,
Plenty
Right.
of room for all of us, it sounds like.
you know, I said, geez, if I leave my checkbook at home, I won't have to worry about bidding on anything.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, you know, we can do the debit card. I'm like, oh.
Good.
It was funny when we, St. Anthony's, we did the golf tournament at Black Rock, and so we did all those silent auctions, and that's basically how you make your money. So George let us use his credit card machine.
Oh,
So they ran anyone's card that night. Oh, you don't have to wait for an invoice. We're gonna bill you. Give me the credit card right now. So yeah, it was kind of funny, but yeah, I'll be curious to see what's there. But I've never been in the cave, so I'm kind of looking forward to.
Yeah, I haven't either. Sounds
I don't know if
Is
I'm-
that-
exciting, you know. It's
we have a silent
good to
auction.
have it close to home.
I don't know if I'm young enough to get down there, but I'm gonna try. But I was saying at Glen Pratt, you know, at the town meeting, we were sitting there voting on certain things, and it was obvious that a lot of the senior people in town were on that left side. And that's usually where Glenn sits anyway. That's where Wayne sits. I started laughing. I said, hey, listen, 3 more years, I'll be allowed to sit over there.
Good for you.
So, but, well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on Thursday.
Yeah, that'll be
But
nice.
it's like, I'm not gonna know anybody there. I said, you will.
Yeah, well, we'll make sure.
Yeah, so, all right, I'll bring plenty of cash so I can, if it's a cash bar, I'll be
Oh.
there. So stand next to me. I have the cash. I invited, the Menchings. I didn't know if he could get tickets or not because they had a deadline of Friday.
Oh, last Friday?
Yeah, when Cassandra sent out the email, it did say there was Tamara said there was a deadline of that Friday, because I think they needed a head count.
Oh,
Yeah, but they'll take
Yeah.
they'll take anybody.
You think they'll
Email.
take cash? Mary, would they take cash at the door, do you think?
I don't know. I
A
told her,
nonprofit looking for money?
I told her I was late because I was on the road all last week. So, and I'd forgotten about it before then. Every time I thought about it, I wasn't around. Anyway, so I put a check in the mail and emailed her yesterday and said, a check's coming. She says,
Yeah.
you know, no worries about it. So,
Yeah, okay, awesome. All right, well, maybe we can talk Jim and Heather into going.
Yeah.
All right,
sounds
awesome. Well, do you guys have anything else?
I don't think so.
Jen, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
So,
you, Cassandra.
do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, motion to adjourn.
There we go.
Second.
All right, Mary, thank you. Cassandra, once again, thank you so much.
Oh, one more
Absolutely.
thing, Paul, the Habitat office is right off of 53 at Queen Anne's Corner. So anybody can drop money over there by hand too, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
good. Good to know. Awesome. There are 2x4s probably up there.
Yep.
All
Yeah,
the names on it. Yeah.
she had that for people to sign. Some people
Sure.
sign.
That was a neat hook. I like that. Okie dokie.
Okay, see you Thursday night.
Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
Good
Thank
good luck,
you.
Jen.
Bye.
Take care. Are you bringing
Have
your
fun
dad?
at the play.
Is your
Have
dad
fun
going?
to play.
No, I told him he's gonna try to get to the one at Town Hall over the summer. It's a little hard with Deer Hills.
Okay.
so,
All right.
Thanks. All
Right.
right, I'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.